Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that jump was crazy. Oh, it came out like, oh, it was like. He walked out. He walked out the slide. That's my word. He was like, oh, this jump crazy. So they ain't let us out when time count was clear. They ain't let us out. You see George come out. You see the sergeant's talking to George. George talking to the sergeant. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. After George talked to him for like 15 minutes, the sergeant leave. You hear the doors open. The doors open. Everybody step out like. I'm like, Jersey like, man, y'all crazy. So I see George, he come out, he like, hey, Weezy, who after you on the phone, Weezy? I'm like, Jersey. He was like, Jersey, I'm after you. Jersey was like, all right, put Doc after you. He was like, all right. So we come downstairs, he acting like everything normal. We saying like, yo, bro, what happened, bro? I thought you would be going to the hole, bro. He was like, no, my celly put his hands on me. He was like, he put his hands on me first. He said he told the truth. He told the people that he hit me first. I said, he hit you first? He was like, yeah, he hit me, bro. He said he was in there, keep talking that, you know what I mean, trying to be my daddy stuff, man. I told him, man, like, I already got a daddy. I don't need you to do that. He said, man, old head got mad and swung on me. He said, well, old head swung on me. He hit me right here. And I looked. George did have like a little star, you know, like when you don't get hit too hard, and like the damage ain't really crazy, but it was like right there on his eye. He was like, he hit me right here. I was like, what you do to him? He's like, what you mean what I do to him? I put the beads on him. Weezy, what you mean? I'm like, I said, so they said they not locking you up? He was like, nah. He said, you know, I'm trying to go home, Weezy. I said, bro, listen, is you really trying to go home, or bro, is you just in this joint trying to just trick up, bro? I said, cause look, I'm gonna be honest with you, George, man. I said, I rock with you, bro. I said, man, but listen, bro, it's nothing more important than getting out there to my family, bro. I said, like, I don't know how you feel. I don't know if you got family. I don't know. I'm just saying, bro, there's nothing more important than getting out there to my family, bro. So I'm like, the shenanigans that you doing, like, I was like, bro, it's crazy. I said, because we just supposed to be working out, eating good, using a jack, and getting out, man, and recycling this stuff. Let somebody take our spot. I said, we don't supposed to be in here acting like goons, bro. I said, the only way I'm gonna get out of my square if somebody put their hands on me or call me out my name, bro. That's the only way. He was like, I'm saying, like, I mean, I feel that. But like, this what I'm saying though, Weezy, man, like I'm going home. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna mess my release date up. But like if I fight, they ain't gonna mess my release date up, Weezy. But I'm gonna fight. If someone get me wrong though, Weezy, I'm gonna fight. Like, I ain't got no problem with it. Like, my roommate was tripping. Like, he trying to talk to me about the situation. I said, bro, you smacked the white dude, bro. I said, bro, come on, bro. I said, man, listen, bro, you need to watch that white dude, to be honest with you, bro. I said, man, he was like, nah, because he about to go home. I said, bro, listen, like, you like, you know, you ever trying to talk to somebody, but like, every time you talking to them and you giving them advice, they ain't doing nothing but talking over your advice. Like, those are the people that you don't really have to give advice to, man, because if you're someone that talks over the advice, you someone that is never going to learn, y'all. So, boom, I was a different youngin'. I listen. If you talking right, I want to hear what you're saying. If you talking some BS, I'm gonna swerve you. I don't even want to hear it, man. But like, George just out of control, man. So we in the jump. You hear the sergeant come in. The sergeant is a lady that likes ladies. So she kind of big, got the dreads. My word, she come in the joint. She called George in the office. George in the office talking. He was in there for a minute. So while he was in there talking, Doc pull up on me. Doc was like, yeah, look. He was like, man, they saying they want to keep him in here because I guess the people that from Buckingham, Doc knew everything. Don't ask me how. I know y'all be saying, Doc, the people, man, I promise you. I don't know if it was the people or not, but I was dealing with a pause, man. Like, me and him just was on the phone line. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. But at the same time, like, he was vital because he knew the police. He knew about different things. So I'm playing chess in there at the end of the day. I wasn't no cop. He never did no cop activity around me. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I would go to him to find things out. So Doc telling me like, yeah, he was like, you know, when they got shit from Buckingham from the hole, he was like, you know, those sergeants and the lieutenants, they all deal with everybody over here. So he was like, they got him over here, and that's why they wanted him in this pod. He said because if they send him to the reentry, the real reentry where I supposed to have been at, they was like, man, he's not gonna make it over there because they said that junk was gladiator school. Like I was trying to figure out, like, man, how my luck was so bad because I lucked up to get over there. I ain't even gonna lie, but I was like, how my luck so bad that they sent me from Lawrenceville to freaking gladiator school, but at the same time though, like he was like, that's why George didn't go over there because they knew George wouldn't make it. He definitely wouldn't make it because there would have been too many people over there that he would have had an issue with because his temper is quick. But at the same time, now he's over here with us. Doc gave me the play. I understand now, like, you know, so like they giving him a shot. Me, I had one shot. If I mess up, they kicking me out. I'm going to gladiator school. I already knew it. He had chances. Like I don't know if they knew about him smacking the white dude because the white dude didn't tell, but he actually beat his roommate up and got away with it, man. So that was over with, man. You know what I mean? I try to forget about it. Now it's time to work out again. So we was back there working out. Everything was going straight. Moving, working out. Everything going good. You know what I mean? So we working out. So I forgot what we was debating about. Like it was just me, him, and Miles back there. But I forgot what we was debating about. We was debating about something, man. I promise you, I can't remember. But we was all back by the steps doing the push-ups. And we was all like holding the legs and we was doing push-ups off the third step. That made it like crazy incline, decline. I can't remember one of them, Jay. But we off the steps, we holding the ankles. Boom, 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 hitting the push-ups. Boom, 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 boom. So we back there like, yo, I forgot what we debating about. Everybody back there, we back there debating about stuff, just me, Miles, and bro. Back there. So Miles was like, nah, bro, you wrong. He was like, Weezy, tell him. Like, yeah, I'm like, so whatever it was, I had to take Miles' side. Miles made sense what he was saying. I was like, and Miles was one of those guys. He was like, even though he was in a can, like he was an intelligent black guy. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like he had a lot of knowledge, and he wasn't a 5% of nothing. Like he was basically like a Christian. He went to church a lot. He was one of those type of dudes, but like he had a lot of knowledge, and he basically was just giving me the game and just telling me about, you know what I mean? He was telling me about everything, and he was just basically like just giving bro a good count, and he was like, Weezy, straighten it, and whatever it was, I did straighten it. I was on Miles' side because he was right, and I'm like, yo. I was like, yo, he right, bro. He was like, nah, he ain't right. Weezy, how you gonna straighten that? He ain't right, Weezy, nah. Miles was like, bro, listen, I'm not even gonna, bro, look, I'm not gonna argue with you, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I know you ain't. So I'm like, I see it. I'm like, man, y'all chill out, man. I'm like, yo, bro, chill out, bro. Gave him a little John, like, chill out, bro. He was like, no, he good. Come on. I was like, he did his push-ups. He do his jaw super angry. He was bouncing them jaws, pause. He was like, I'm like, bro, wow. And he get up, he like, Miles giving him a little smile, like, it was Miles' turn. So he got to hold Miles' leg. So I'm like, I got it, man. He was like, no, I got it. Miles looked back like, you sure you got it, man? He was like, yeah, I got it. What you think? Miles was like, Miles get down, start doing his push-ups. He holding his ankles. Miles like, Miles stopped. Don't y'all say. He finished. Miles get up. He was like, yeah, how you feeling? Miles was like, I feel good. How you feeling? He was like, yeah, I feel like fighting. Miles was like, you feel like fighting? He was like, yeah, I feel like fighting. That's how I feel. You acting like you got a problem. Look how you doing your push-ups. Miles was like, what? Miles looked at me. He was like, bro, you see how you did your push-ups, bro? You just did your push-ups with a whole attitude, man. He was like, nah, yeah, you feeling some type of way? Yeah, let's go on a sale. Miles was like, go on a sale, bro. I'm not fighting you, man. He was like, yeah, I know. Yeah, because you a B. I'm like, oh, when I heard that, I'm like, bro, chill, bro. So what's wrong with you, bro? I started pushing him out. Like, bro, you wildin'. What's your problem, bro? I was like, man, you wildin', bro. You tripping, bro. He had a little smirk on his face like a real maniac devil. He was like, no, Weezy, no. You gotta show people sometime. I was like, bro, listen, bro. I rock with him, man. I'm letting you know. I rock with him. So like that's dead, bro. I was like, bro, I rock with him. So that's a rap, bro. He was like, no, I think he want to get something off his chest, don't you, Miles? Yeah, the church teach you that? Yeah, Miles was like, the church teach, like, bro was just trying to disrespect Miles. They get him out of his square, man. I'm like, I hope Miles don't feed into this because I never seen Miles get like nobody had a problem with him. Miles was cool, like everybody rocked with him, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to see bro get out of square. But he like, man, dude, call him out his name. So I'm trying to stop. So Miles was like, man, look, man, Weezy, I'm gone. Man. He was like, man, I'll holler at you, man. He was like, man, if he don't work out with us, man, I ain't working out no more, man. He was like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, young boy don't want nothing but just mess up somebody's life, man. You know what I mean? Miles went up the steps sad, man. Miles went up the steps like, CEO open his door, man. He went to go take his shower game, y'all. So boom. I get, bro. I said, yo, bro. I said, bro, listen, bro. You wildin', man. I said, I let you, the way you acting, bro. I said, you look like you would change on me. I said, but you want to fight me too, bro? He was like, what I want to fight you for? I said, bro, listen. I don't want to find out, bros. I said, I don't got time to be clashing with your maniac butt, man. I said, look, man, let's go ahead and do you, bro. He was like, what? I was like, man, let's go do you, bro. I said, bro, I'm about to go home, bro. I said, you go home before me. I said, you tripping, bro. I said, man, look, man, you don't understand. I said, bro, I've been locked up since I was 17 years old, bro. Like, I had to bring him back to earth. I said, bro, I've been locked up since I was 17, bro. I said, bro, I'm 33. I said, bro, listen, man, you wildin', man. I said, man, I'm not going back, bro. I said, bro, listen, I'm not messing this joint up, bro. Like, you tripping, bro. I'm not messing my release date up. He was like, Jersey came over there like, what's going on? I was like, bro, this maniac just trying to fight Miles, man. Jersey was like, what you trying to fight Miles for? He was like, he looked like he had something on his chest. He still had that little secret, little crazy grin. He was like, he looked like he had something on his chest. So, yeah, I told him he can get it off his chest. I said, man, this is crazy right here, man. I couldn't, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to fall back off you, bro. I was like, man, but listen, I don't be into that, bro. He was like, man, not my fault, man. My fault, Weezy, man. He was like, I ain't apologizing to him, though. And I was like, why not? He was like, cuz. He was like, man, cuz he weak, Weezy. I know he weak, man. He working out with you because he know you one of the strong ones. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, listen, bro. I said, bro, you wildin', bro. He was like, no, I'm telling you, Weezy, man. He was like, I said, all right, man. Just stay away from him, bro. I said, man, don't make me fall back off you, though, George, man. I said, man, come on, bro. You wildin', bro. Niggas trying to go home, bro. I said, people trying to go home, bro. I said, you wildin', man. He was like, all right, man. Dapped me up. He was like, my fault, man, Weezy. He dapped me up, and I was there, y'all. So, boom. A little bit later, I went to go holler at Miles, and I kicked it with Miles. I let him know, like, look, bro, dude, a maniac. Like, just stay away from him. Man, I mean, I was like, I'm trying to, like, change him. Like, I don't know why. I was like, but he all right, young boy. He just got a quick temper. Miles was like, man, I ain't messing with that dude, man. He was like, man, let's keep him away from me. Miles wasn't even tripping for real, man. So that day was over with, man. Now the weekend came. So this was like my second visit. You know what I mean? My brother pulled up on me. This was like my second visit. So I'm already in the visiting room. But when I walked to the visiting room, like, I see this is before they switched to you had to, like, they right before I was leaving, they switched to you got to wear jumpsuit and all that other stuff in Greensville visiting room now. But when I was in there, like in 2015, 16, like, you still can wear your jean shirt, your jeans, your Timbs. You can still come in like that. So I come in the joint and I'm looking, and there was a lady a little kid, and like a girl probably like in her 20s, but the lady probably was like in her 40s. So it was three people sitting at this table beside me and my bro. So I come in the joint, that bro up, you know what I mean? Sit down at the table, me and bro kicking it. Bro was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, that joint crazy, man. He was like, look, you don't know her son? So the lady was like, you don't know my son? I'm like, what part your son in? She was like, he in 9 building. I was like, oh yeah, that's my building. She was like, yeah, he in the go home pod. Your brother told me he was in the go home pod. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, who your son? She was like, George. You don't know? And I looked at her. She kind of favored George. I was like, yeah, I know George, man. She was like, what are you doing in there? Is he staying out of trouble? Because he was just left out the hole when he was at Buckingham. I'm like, I looked at my brother like, I was like, yeah, he chilling, man. You know what I mean? She was like, don't lie. I was like, nah, it's to say that the door open. It's George. He come in that joint like this. He was like, Mom. He hugged her. Oh, miss you, Mom. Grabbed his little brother. He was like, hey, little sister. He was like, what's up? This is family. So he sit down. He was like, oh, Weezy, what's up? I was like, yeah, what's up? Like, my brother, man. He was like, oh, what's up, brother? I was like, what's up? So he was like, oh, what's up? So he get into his visit. So as he get on the visit, I'm telling my brother, I'm like, yo, bro, a maniac, bro. I'm like, yo, bro is a maniac. Bro was like, where you from? I tell bro where you from. I'm like, yo, listen. Like, he done rumble the dude. He done smacked the dude, rumble his roommate. I said, bro, go home before me. I said, man, bro said, what are you trying to mess his release day up? I said, I don't know. I said, man, but I'm trying to keep him. Bro was like, no, bro, don't. I was like, you right. I'm coming home, bro. I said, but still though, like, I'm trying to, like, trying to pass the game down to the young boy, man. I was like, cause he go home before me. Bro was like, man, that's crazy. So his mom get up, everybody get up, it's time to leave. So George was like, hey, Weezy, look, man, tell her I'm staying out the way in that joint, Weezy. Tell her, man. Tell her I don't be doing that, Weezy, man. I've been working out with you and just staying out the way. I was like, I gave her a look like, yeah, he chilling, man. She was like, She grabbed him by his chin. She was like, you better chill and stop playing around here for you mess your release date up. He was like, oh, I ain't messing my release date up. He was like, look, don't forget to get the Jordans. I want some Jordans. Then it's gonna be cold. So I want a nice jacket. I want this, I want that. So she like, well, look, you better stay out the way then, or you ain't gonna be able to get this shit. Like, cause if you mess with release date up, I ain't buying you nothing. So he was like, man, come on, man. He was still like a little kid, slightly like, but his mama was young, so I understood the relationship they had. So we gotta go back from the VI. So me and him walking back from the VI. So we coming back from the VI, we walking. So he like, man, that's crazy, man. Like to see my people. I was like, bro, listen, bro. Like, I said, bro, you got a good family, bro. I said, man, like, you need to tighten up, bro. I said, because you gonna mess around and really mess your release date up, bro, and let your mom down, bro. I said, how long you been locked up? He was like, almost 10 years. I said, bro, listen, bro. It's time for you to go home, bro. You know what I mean? I said, it's time for you to go home, bro. He said, I feel young too. I said, I know. I said, bro, it's time to go home, bro. He was like, man, I'm gonna chill, Weezy, man. I'm gonna chill, man. I'm gonna chill, man. I'm gonna chill, man. I was like, bro, listen, you really do need to chill, bro. I said, because I said, that stuff you did in Miles, I said, bro, that wasn't right, bro. I said, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I rock with him, man. I said, that wasn't right there, man. He was like, yeah, what I'm saying, though, like, he don't like me, though. I could tell since we've been working out together. I said, man, that man do not have a problem with you, man. He was like, yeah, but I know you don't rock with me like that. I said, bro, look, what you want me to do? What you want me to do, man? I said, look, I'm just telling you that I rock with him, so it's on you, whatever you want to do, man. I was like, but look, you want to mess around and let your mom down, man. He said, man, I promise, Weezy, I'm not, man. I was like, all right, bro. So that was that, y'all. So boom, we get back in the pod. I let him come back and work out. It's just me and him now. You know what I mean? So we working out in the joint. Boom, 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 boom. Working out. Boom, 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 boom. So somebody called him from the back door. You know what I mean? Now, when I say somebody called somebody, y'all gotta understand that it's two sides. Like they have two pods downstairs, two pods upstairs. Now, each pod down and up, they both have the back door that what I be talking about. Cause that's the way you have to take to go to rec. So the pod beside us is the intake pod. Now, it's the intake pod, then it's our pod. Now, they have to come into their back door. We can't really see them, but we can hear them and we can talk to them. Like that's how you communicate to the other pod. So I hear bro back there. So somebody called George. So I see George back there. He back there like he talking to somebody. I can't hear what he's saying because he's in the little room. So I'm just sitting on the bench. I'm just looking at the TV and listening to the music. So it's some dudes that's waiting to go mess with the Lala, I guess. It's a black dude from Richmond, and it was a dude that's in the red team. One dude, the one from Richmond, he's not going home. The one on the red team, he's going home soon. So they standing back there. So George is back there like, yeah, bro, whoever that, man, yeah, look, bro, when I get out, bro, da. Like he on the land with somebody. So they just talking. So I see the dude from Richmond like, he keep looking like. So dude take his earbuds out. The other dude, the red team, like, what's going on? So I'm pinning the whole joint. I'm like, I'm like, George, wow, man. I was like, man, I ain't gonna call him though. I was like, he gotta start learning, man. He gotta start learning, man. So the dude from Richmond was like, shh. After the third joint, dude from Richmond was like, boom, he opened the door. He was like, hey, show that. Hey, look, we trying to come here and handle some business right quick, man. You can talk to him on the yard, man. This word, George turned around, was like, what? He was like, you heard what I said? What you gonna stay in the room all day? We trying to get in here, shorty. George was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna holler at you, man. He come out the joint. He walk over there where I was at. He was like, he put his foot on the bench. He don't even sit down. He put his foot on the bench, but he looking towards them. He like, man, and it's gonna come back there and kick me out the room. I ain't never did that to nobody. Look how many times I had to wait, Weezy. I ain't never kicked nobody out the room, man. Man, that's crazy right there, Weezy. I'm like, so he keep looking their way. So you can see the dude from Richmond. He hitting the la, but he looking though, because there's a window. He facing us. The other dude probably right there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, Lord, man. I'm like, yo, bro, listen. Like for real, bro, like you gotta, you know what I mean? Like you gotta, bro. I was like, for real though, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was like, bro, you can't stay out of stuff, man. I was like, man, look, I can't mess with you, George, man. He was like, no, Weezy, I'm telling you. Like he was a funny little dude at some point. He was like, no, Weezy, I'm telling you, like, it don't all be my fault, bro. Like you see, I was in there chilling. Like dudes just coming there picking with me, bro. I'm like, yeah, you right, bro. He's like, I ain't think about them though, bro. I ain't think about them, man. I was like, yeah, bro, you don't need to, man. You know what I mean? So the red team dude, it's probably like the red team had a phone, but it was only like 3 of them. And all of them were going to the crib. Like, you know, they really didn't really do nothing unless they have to. Like, it wasn't no cream puffs in there from the red team. And they just, everybody going home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot to bring a maniac out of the square to mess his release date up. So they come out the joint. So the dude from Richmond come out the joint. He all lit now. So he just start laughing at George. But he ain't say nothing to him. So the red team dude walked by and was like, look, man, fix your face, man. George was like, what? He was like, fix your face. George swung on him. Whew, George missed him. Red team dude, he weaved the jump. George was like, yeah, who you talking to? Who you talking to? Red team was like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? He was like, get your dope pop. Get your dope pop. So the red team dudes come over there. So Jersey messed with one of the red team dudes. So Jersey like, he looking at me, I'm like, bro, that's one-on-one, bro. I said, let's let him rap one-on-one. I was like, man, look, dude, he must have got to get some stress. Let him rap, man. I promise you, man. So dudes were like, all right. So they let him go in the cell one-on-one. No red team went up there. I didn't go up there. He went into Joy. He went upstairs to the boys' cell, and they rumbled, y'all. Boom, 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 boom. That's all you heard. Nobody was holding the door down because the police would have saw it. So they rumbling, they rumbling, they rumbling. I promise you, probably about after like 2 minutes of rumbling, you see George coming down the steps like this. George was like, and dudes was like, you good? He was like, yeah, you need to go check on him. Yeah, you need to go check on him. Some dudes from red teams, they went up the steps. I was like, what happened? He was like, bro, I dumped him on his head, bro. He was like, man. I was like, he good? He was like, man, he hit that floor wheezing, man. I was like, man, that's crazy. You better hope that man good, man. He was like, man, I hope so too, man. I hope so too. So the red team go up that joint. So the dude from Richmond penning the whole joint, like, yeah, oh yeah, young boy go like this. I'm saying in my head, yes. Like George is a psychopath. George is a psychopath. They gonna check on the dude from the red team, man. I promise you, man. They say they had to revive dude, man. They said dude had a little mini concussion game. Man, he dunked him on his head, man. George didn't look like nothing was wrong with him. Nothing was wrong with him, man. The dude that he was fighting, he always go out and play basketball. He always do that, man. I promise you, man. This man, when they finally got that man right, I didn't see him till the next day. But when they finally got that man right, man, that man eye right here, man, that joint look like a slab of meat and Rocky.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes.